Welcome back to Reality Review, where we review reality. Let's jump right in. Jennifer Aniston slams claims about why she never had children, reveals she spent 20 years trying to start a family. In OK Magazine, Stephanie Kaplan reports on Jennifer Aniston's recent remarks about persistent rumors and assumptions regarding why she never had children. Aniston says she spent more than 20 years trying to start a family, and that many of the narratives about her choosing not to have children are false. She complained that the media and public didn't know my story, what I'd been going through the past 20 years to try to pursue a family, because she kept her medical challenges private. She's been bothered by claims that she avoided motherhood to focus on her career, i.e., that she's selfish or a workaholic, and felt compelled to speak up. She referenced her 2016 op-ed for the Huffington Post, which criticized how media treats women's reproductive choices, saying her decision to write it stemmed partly from knowing others who were going through fertility struggles. Over time, she says she cares less about correcting every false rumor, though in some cases she still feels compelled to right the wrong. The article also notes her current relationship with wellness guru Jim Curtis, which she has soft-launched publicly, and that she's more comforted by silence than constant speculation. In a new Harper's Bazaar interview, she reiterated that she underwent years of in vitro fertilization, so IVF, drinking teas, Chinese teas, you name it, trying everything to conceive. She expressed that she now feels some relief, saying, "There is no more. Can I? Maybe. 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 I don't have to think about that anymore." She defended her decision to stay quiet for many years, saying, "That's not anyone's business. They create narratives that aren't true, so I might as well tell the truth." She strongly rejected the often repeated claim that her marriages ended because she, quote unquote, wouldn't give her husband a child, calling those rumors absolute lies. She has framed her openness as not only for herself, but for other women dealing with fertility difficulties, trying to destigmatize and encourage conversation. In 2016, she published a widely read Huffington Post essay pushing back against the media's obsession with whether women marry or have children, stating, "We define a woman's value based on her marital and maternal status. We don't need to be married or mothers to be complete." In a 2022 Allure interview, she had previously disclosed that she underwent IVF treatments in her 30s and her 40s, though ultimately her attempts did not succeed. Biographical sources also know she does not have biological children as of now. Her remarks highlight the tension many public figures, especially women, face between privacy and combating narratives they feel misrepresent them. The broader conversation touches on stigmas around infertility, societal expectations placed on women with regard to motherhood, and the judgments women often endure for choices or circumstances beyond their control. It also speaks to how media and tabloids can perpetuate oversimplified or damaging narratives, like she chose career over kids, without regard for private medical or emotional struggles. And this brings me back to my past and up until now thoughts. I always believed that Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt's marriage fell apart in part due to her not wanting to have children. I don't know where I read that. I don't know where I got that story, but I feel like I read it in like maybe a tabloid, one of those little papers or whatnot, that stated that she did not want to have kids. And I will not lie. At that point, when I came across that information, it really got me to asking questions that were never answered up until now. Like, did they discuss that before they got married? Did he change his mind, not wanting to have kids, and then ultimately wanted to have kids? Did she change her mind? wanting to have kids and then ultimately decided she didn't want to have kids. I mean, there were a whole host of questions I had because, I mean, to some degree, that union was like, they were like America's sweetheart couple. And everybody was like cheering and rooting for them, only to find out that she did not want to have kids, which made us, or at least made me wonder, like, what the heck? Like, not that I was against her decision to have children, but it just kind of made you think, oh, what happened there? But fast forward to now, and this article, oh my goodness. One, I want to commend her on her courage to come forward and reveal that, she was having fertility challenges. And two, I want to extend a sincere apology for taking that narrative, that false narrative, and running with it because, yeah, I believe that, she just didn't want to have kids. Maybe it was due to her career, and at that time, I think women were concerned about their bodies, so maybe she just didn't want to destroy her body. But even then, I didn't think negative of her, and I didn't dislike her for not wanting to have children based off that false narrative. But I just feel weird having heard that or read that, and up until now, up into this article, I always believed that. And it didn't help that, she hadn't had any kids up until now. And then Brad Pitt had gone on to marry and ultimately have kids with Angelina Jolie. So again, I was thinking maybe that was true, or, I had no reason not to believe it other than, the tabloids can lie. But I'm just saying, everything I saw backed that up. So to come across this information, my heart just goes out to her because I do believe that, marriage is a beautiful thing and having children is a beautiful thing. And to know that she was having challenges in the background, again, my heart just goes out to her. So, shame on society for us even putting that heavy pressure on women to, be married and ultimately have children, because one, that's not every woman's desire, and then two, sometimes it's just not possible. But again, I want to extend a sincere apology to Jennifer, because up until now, my thought process and belief was that her marriage with Brad Pitt dissolved in part to her not wanting to have children. So again, I admire her courage to come forward and share her story and her challenges, and hopefully, yes, it will open up conversation for others. Until next time, bye.